week, it was like we were coming out of winter into summer, so his coat was shedding. And his coat was shedding faster than I could fucking brush it. And so he was getting hairballs, but not really because he has fuck raw hair. But it was enough that it was like causing him to puke, and he just kept puking up like near our pillows and shit. So yeah, that was argument over. No beanbag. The fluffy pancakes, I mean, they sort of are. They're also kind of liquid, technically. Tasty. Fucking hell, Grim. I actually wouldn't mind pikelets. That'd be nice. Not pancakes, pikelets. I like pikelets better. But, yeah, no, there's a few things that I don't or won't own because I have cats. In the future, like, I have got carpet around the house, and I'm on the borderline for this, right? So Phoenix has this thing where he could puke on the tiles where it's really easy to clean, or he could puke on the carpet where it's not as easy to clean. And I think you guys can figure out where he likes to puke is the fucking carpet. So I kind of like don't know if I want to have carpet in future houses, or if it's worth the trouble, if I should just get like a steam mop or something instead, like one of those like steam vacuum cleaner thingies, so I can just deal with it better. I don't know which is the better way to go for myself, because I do like having carpeted rooms where it can keep me warmer and stuff in winter. It doesn't get as cold, which is good because I have a lot of old injuries and stuff. But at the same time, it'd be a lot easier to clean. But I've kind of figured it like this. If I didn't have carpet, a cat would just find something else to throw up on that's important, or difficult to clean. So that's sort of how I also look at it. But yeah, no, I had the same thing when my previous cat got really elderly. There was kind of like a change in her ability to digest food. Realistically, once she became a super senior, I realistically should have changed her over to a super senior diet, which is kind of a little bit easier for them to break apart with their teeth and stuff. Because what was happening instead was that she was woofing down the food instead of chewing it. So she wasn't actually going through the motion of chewing it. And so once it got into her stomach, then she was a really heavy drinker. So she would turn around and she'd drink a shit ton of water, and then it would kind of like balloon in her stomach, and obviously she'd puke because she's over full then. It's kind of how it worked for her. But I didn't know she was doing it because I had like a spare room that I never really went into. I never had a reason to go in there, and I went in there and it was just fucking, the carpet was destroyed. So that sucks. But yeah, I noticed it with Phoenix too. Once he kind of got to about 12, he started going through like having issues with like the puking and stuff. And I noticed that he wasn't chewing his food. He was just kind of like picking it up, maybe cracking one in his teeth and then tossing the rest of them back. And then of course going and drinking. And yeah, so he just started doing the same shit. And like I got him looked at by doctors and stuff, and he's perfectly healthy. Like his teeth are kind of older. Like he hasn't, like vets don't really brush cats' teeth here when you visit them and stuff, which kind of sucks. And Phoenix will not let me brush his teeth, so I have tried. It is not worth the harm to him or me. And I can't sedate him to get his teeth like brushed and scaled and shit. So we're at a point where what's done is done. And as he gets older, his teeth will probably just like, they'll get sore or fall out or whatever. He doesn't have as many as he used to. So I know he's not chewing as much as he used to. So yeah, unfortunately that means more cat puke, So I'll brush my teeth. Probably a good idea, Waiver. Let's see what I missed. The cats are great for winter. Lucifer used to sleep on my chest, keeping both of us warm. My cat loves attacking feet fingers. Feet fingers? You mean toes? I love that. I guess if you got long enough toes, they are kind of feet fingers. I got like really short toes. So like, to me, they're just toes. That's just so weird. That's funny. Feet. No, that's horrible. Like, all I'm imagining is, you know how there's like a meme out there where somebody's like, we could have this, and it's like this person sitting at their desk with their fingers interlocked with their fucking toes, and they're just like holding their foot like as if they're holding hands with somebody. And I just like, I cringe. That's painful. The fingers of the foot, no. So terrible. Yeah, no, I know what you're kind of talking about when people got like those lanky long toes and stuff like that. But yeah, I've got like little short, petite ass toes. So yeah, it's just that's so funny. Do you pick your nose with those fingers? That's a good fucking question, Rin. Are you gonna answer that? How do you feel about that question? That's fucking something. I bet you there's gotta be somebody out there that does. There just has to be. There's so many people that do all sorts of things in the world. There just has to fucking be somebody that's doing that. I kind of hope that these people don't end up with the mental break and that they actually just pack all this shit on and go, because that would be amazing. Instead of, like, this guy's on the edge. He should really have a sleep. I wonder if I could tell him to go sleep, because he's off gathering supplies. Where's a bird? I tell you to go lay down. I guess I can't. I can't tell them to lay down unless they're hurt. Which one's Nat? That's not the place you want to be, Nat. I don't even know if I've got somebody in here that can help. I've got all these people nearby. Can come and work on Nat. This is kind of bad. They gotta beat the shit out of, apparently, Nerona. Enough motivation is possible, but I don't want to know if it's possible and attempt to do it. I wonder if those who do also eat boogers after, I don't know. Look, I look at it this way, is it's a very good way to get athlete's foot up your nose. That's what it is. I've actually heard stories of people doing that. You know, like on those like Reddit forums where doctors have real life patient confessions and shit. I'm not saying that all of those are true, but yeah, there's been some interesting stories of how people get like really specific kind of bacteria and stuff up their nose from doing stuff like that. I think what it usually is they've kind of like sat there and picked at their nails with their fingers and then done that, like picked at their toenails with their fingers and then like shoved them up the nose. I think that's how they get it more so. Oh, and that got their ass handed to them. Nice. Cool. If they're right, what I might do is say, if you could just rescue, take them to a bed, and if I could get my people, wherever the fuck Trudeau is in here, can I get, fuck it, you guys can go punch him if you gotta do it. I can't select the person I want. Are you unselected? Maybe. A good way of building up your immune system. Yeah, unless you're immunocompromised, and then it's a very quick way to get you some like extra medical bills, you know? Good old couple of courses of prescriptions. Like, who knows what else could happen with that? Waiting to see a male rat come in so I could get my rats breeding. The medical bill. Yeah, well, we used to basically have that until recently. I kind of consider, in most cases, most places still charge you for prescriptions. Like, not to get a prescription, right, but to get the prescription filled. So that's what I also consider as a medical bill. So if I'm saying medical bill, I'm referring to anything that may like pertain to like medical services, which includes getting like the medicine to fix yourself up with afterwards. In some places, all of that shit's covered, all of it. But in some places, that's the only thing that's like not covered, or some scripts are not covered and stuff, you know? But yeah, up until like a couple of years ago or a year or two ago, Australia had basically all of our, like, you go see a doctor and that shit was covered, which made sense because, you know, we paid Medicare levies to be able to access doctors of different kinds, you know, with no charge. Because obviously we paid for it annually, whether we needed it or not. But yeah, it kind of sucks that costs money, especially for somebody like me that has chronic medical problems and stuff. Like, shit's not cheap. Like, I have to weigh up how likely is whatever is wrong with me at the time going to, like, kill me versus, like, can I wait a little bit longer till it's more serious to, like, see somebody kind of thing, which is shit because I shouldn't have to do that. But I know that medicine's worse elsewhere in the world, so yeah. No worries, Scarlet. I feel like I've got most of my colony divided between a caravan and here. Honestly, those two look about the same size. They're not. This is slightly more, I think, based on how many people are down the bottom, but yeah. If this group ends up just leaving, like they pick up their stuff and go, like, I didn't have to pick up all the extra guns. I think I left that out originally so that they would leave faster. I mostly want the silver, probably the turrets, components for sure, the architect leg, whatever. All of that would be great. And then I kind of want them to get on the road. And that place can get abandoned. We've been trying for a couple of weeks to get them out of there, but pretty much every time I try to leave, somebody either has a mental break or the place ends up, they glitch, you know? So I just assume it's going to take me a while. I assume Stephens is also a prisoner, right? I keep clicking on him because he keeps being in a mental fucking state. He goes from mental state to mental state instead of being a recruitable person. It's something. I'll tell you that much. It's fucking something. Alright, how are we going? We're nearly there with beds and stuff. What I might do, because this row is nearly done, I've still got to get them to, like, mine a whole heap along here. There's people, it's hard to get me to see the docks. Very much have to be emergency, and even then, I sort of think I should not go. Yeah, there's a fair few people out there like that. My thing is, like, because I've been in, like, severe health, like, critical health situations before, and I have a lot of, like, medical conditions and stuff like that, any one thing going wrong could be... It could be nothing, or it could be something major, or it could be a medical side effect or something like that. Like, in my case, it's better off to just get it checked out. But the other month, I had, like, my doctor felt really out of touch. Last time I saw him, like, he's normally really great. The last time I saw him, he's like, oh, you know, like, we'll send you away to get, like, x-rays and ultrasounds and stuff like that on what's wrong, and then we'll get you back in here, and then depending on what's needed, we'll send you back to get, like, a injection or something like that under another ultrasound. And I'm like, okay, so doctor's appointment fee, 2 sets of different x-rays, ultrasounds, and an injection. That's a lot of fucking money that I don't have to get something fixed. It's like, oh, but you're unemployed. And I'm like, no, I'm self-employed and I'm not covered by the government. And he's like, can't you just go and get yourself a concession card? And I'm like, and what? Apply for, like, jobs multiple times a day for providers that don't believe that I'm looking for work when I don't need to be looking for work. I'm employed. I'm self-employed. And fucking hell, it was great fun trying to, like, get that through to him that I don't have any kind of concessions. I am over 30 and I'm not on any kind of private healthcare because I can't fucking afford that shit. And being self-employed, I don't need to be looking for a job. Yes, I have an extremely low income job, but it's still a job that I have way too many hours committed to on the daily for me to be able to actually work any other kind of job, you know? So, yeah, that was great fun. I'm scared to get a job. I mean, the job market at the moment sucks. Not gonna lie, it's pretty shit out there. I would not want to be looking for work. So I feel that. But then again, it has been pretty shit for, like, the last decade, realistically. It's not really the same as what it used to be. And a lot of stuff's pretty irrelevant. And the kind of hoops that they make you go through to kind of screen out applicants and stuff these days is pretty shit. Which is funny because I was watching a documentary on the programs that employers use to screen their candidates through like a AI program or whatever, but the candidates are using AI programs to increase their odds of getting through the screening process. So they're basically just battling each other instead of anybody actually looking at somebody's resume or credentials. So I'm just like, what's the fucking point? You could say whatever the fuck you want, realistically, because nobody's gonna see it until you're in the. Oh god, Grim, you're running wild. Fucking hell, Grim, stop that. Yeah, nobody's actually looking at the resumes and shit, so it doesn't matter. I'm just stubborn. I don't want to see doctors. Just don't want to meet people. If it was robots that could be doctors, I would see them. I guess the other thing too is like you got to be comfortable on some level with like the personal shit that you've got to go and see them about. I have seen them for incredibly embarrassing stuff, which I thought was embarrassing at the time, but I've kind of moved past and been like, well, unfortunately, that's a part of my medical conditions, and I have to discuss this stuff with doctors. So I am overly comfortable with some stuff that's just like, yeah, I sometimes have conversations and I'm like, people can hear me. And it's like, well, you don't have this. So you don't understand why this is just a standard conversation to me, kind of thing. Just born to be wild. No, you're not, Grim. You're born to drink coffee and help my community cooking that you're doing. Um, oh man. One of my nails is like fucking catching on shit. I've been like passively trying to fucking fix it up this whole stream, but I haven't been able to break it. For some reason, my nails have grown really strong lately. They're normally weak as piss and bend all over the place. But apparently, for some reason, one of them has grown really, really strong and I can't get it to fucking break so that I can fix the little like catchy bit on it. I need like clippers or some shit. Fine, I'll fix that shit up later, but fucking hell is annoying me. I'm like, I don't know. Generally speaking, my nails are constantly like paper thin and they break all the time. It's just how it's always been. But lately they've gone like really, really tough. And like, I don't know, all like the little like knobs and jagged bits from the breaking in the past has become like solid bumps and ridges and stuff. And it's uneven as shit. I need to file them. I don't really like, I don't know. It's not that I don't like filing my nails. I just can't be fucked sitting there like fussing with them. They'll break when they break. They'll grow out, and they'll break when they break. You know, they never get that long anyway. I never get to have nice long nails unless I want to actually pay for like false shit. But fine. Not like the funny thing is when I used to have like a typist kind of job. One of the things I used to find is my ring finger and my pinky finger would grow like really long nails, and the rest of my hands would be absolutely fucking ripped for nail growth. And I was always like, "Oh man, if only I could get the rest of my nails to do that." And then they'd do that, and then all of them would snap, or like the two that are normally long would snap. And I'm like, "Ugh, I can't have nice things. I can't even grow having nice things on my hands, you know." But I don't know. That's a me issue. I think it's supposed to be like low keratin or something thing. I don't know. I have all kinds of fucking vitamin deficiencies thanks to my Crohn's because I have malabsorption issues with like vitamins and minerals and water absorption and stuff. That's the fun side effects. That's why I also have like redeemed so much water and shit as well. Because like I have to drink so much more water a day. Because I don't always necessarily absorb. This is why summer. I never really explained that, but this is why summer was so dangerous to me. Is I can't always absorb all the water that I drink. So, and not everybody can, but you know what I mean. It just made it more dangerous for me. Um, I gotta admit, pretty much since 1.5 came out, I have to say that like my loading times and shit for RimWorld have really absolutely just gone in the bucket. And I don't know if it's a thing that's going to keep increasing or what. But before 1.5, it was so fucking lightning quick. It was like, oh, I'd be like starting to say something and we'd be already back into the game. So I'll tell you what, I don't greatly appreciate that it's like slower now, but I guess this is what everybody was kind of experiencing with like regular games. I just don't know why mine wasn't doing it. I don't know. Who knows? Um, so I just don't want shitty boss or shitty coworkers. I mean, unfortunately, most workplaces will always have. In most workplaces, you'll always find like you'll get along with like one person probably really well. Like you'll enjoy working with that person. And then there'll be a bunch of people that either you don't like think much of, or are just like frustrating to be in the presence of. And that's generally the kind of working world. These days things are like a little bit different, but not that different, realistically. I was actually watching a video, it's like the other day. It wasn't that long ago. I was just watching this video that was like, most of us will be stuck in this job that we don't like, people that we don't like, and stuff like that. I'm like, up until about a year and a half ago, or sorry, probably actually 2 or 3 years ago now, if I actually dial it back far enough, I would agree with that. I would agree. Like in most cases, like that's a kind of standard thing. Unfortunately, is most of us have to just like work in a job that pays enough to kind of cover the bills and stuff, but hate doing it. And it's like I actually work in a job as a streamer that I love and I enjoy, but it doesn't really pay the bills. So that's the flip side is like, are you willing to, can you be in a job that doesn't really cover everything and that you enjoy it? Or, do you take a job? What is Grim doing? But you take a job that like pays all the bills, relieves that stress, but gives you all the extra stress of being in a shit job with shit people. You know, I don't know. I'm very lucky in a sense that like I have got a partner that is fully full-time employed. That for the most part we can just barely cover bills and shit. I do hope that sometime down the future that like YouTube for the most part covers all of the like my side of like income stuff so that I don't have to rely on like people subbing or cheering bits and stuff to survive and whatnot. But that's still gonna be quite a long time. Like I'm still like a few hundred hours away from reaching full monetization where I can get monetization for ads and stuff on YouTube. It'll happen soon, hopefully. But yeah, even then, that's going to take a long time to build up, and that relies on people actually watching the videos and having enough videos watched every month to, you know, equal an income and stuff like that. So it's a lot of work. It's also a lot of work behind the scenes too. Like you guys know that I work anywhere from like 50 hours up to 75 hours on the average week on streaming and uh, content creation and other platforms and all sorts of stuff. So it's quite a lot. It's a lot more than like when I decided to do this. I understood. Oh fuck off, Ellie. I understood that um like I was entering into a situation where it was going to be like, okay, I'm going to be working more hours than a standard job for less pay consistently. Like there would be, until you hit affiliate, you basically work like twice as hard. Like if you're actually trying to do this, you work twice as hard for nothing, absolutely nothing, because you can't receive anything when you're not affiliate through Twitch unless somebody donates and stuff like that, right? So you work incredibly hard for like 6+ months or however long it takes you to hit affiliate, knowing full and well that that's like whatever you get in the future, like it has to kind of back pay that and cover it sometime down the road with like the effort and stuff. This is why like some people want to know why I'm so fucking determined at streaming and stuff. Like you can't just put a shit ton of hours into something and then not try. Like I literally, from my perspective, I've invested too much time and energy and, you know, I've learnt so much and all this sort of thing, like to just give up and just stop and walk away. Like for me, this has to succeed on some level. I need it to. Or otherwise, I disappear off the internet and go back to a regular day job, because I can't have both. My health does not allow me to do both. I can't do it. I have to focus 100% on one thing, or both suffer. I can't do both. So yeah, from my perspective, I work very hard on like my streaming and all my other like platforms and content and stuff like that, but it's it's not something like, if you're not already got like some kind of savings, so you're not in some kind of position where you can cover your bills and stuff, this is probably not something you should throw yourself fully into. But I still do encourage people to at least like give it a go, and on some level stream, like even just to get familiar with it and see if they like it and stuff. Um but yeah, I wouldn't recommend anybody like whole hog just fucking throw down like I fucking have. I go hard though. I go real hard with like everything. It doesn't matter who I work for. This is why I've said in the past, it's like if I'm gonna work for somebody, I might as well work for myself, because at least I'll appreciate and understand how hard I'm working. And like I can't really be fired from myself realistically. Like I can of course quit and walk away, but I don't have to worry about somebody being unimpressed with like my efforts or my workload and stuff like that, and being like it's not good enough. Leave. Like I'm good enough. I work hard enough. I try hard kind of thing to like, you know, make sure people can find my content and um you know, find me wherever they are and stuff, so they don't have to go out their way to be here and catch me live and stuff, you know. Um, I want to be self-employed too. I never wanted to be self-employed, actually. That is something that I never wanted. I just wanted to work in a job where I could kind of like coast through life, just, doing enough to receive enough to just exist. That's what I wanted. I didn't care who I worked for, where I worked for, what industry, or for how long. I just wanted that. And I tended to kind of give too much to get too little. And um, yeah, often kind of in most employments, kind of just got taken advantage by from greedy employers. So I kind of like figured out, I'm like, fuck it, if I'm going to work that hard for somebody else and at the end of the day get thrown out, I might as well do this for myself and back myself once in my life and just, you know, I don't know, work hard for myself kind of thing. That's basically how I kind of ended up self-employed doing this. But the other thing too is a lot of this shit's confusing because a lot of accountants and stuff don't know how to fucking sort out like this new industry of like content creation, streaming, all sorts of stuff, right? Like I had to try to explain to my accountant what I use my computer for now and what I purchase stuff for, and all sorts of things. Who was the person that was having a breakup here, by the way? Somebody went wild before. So I'm expecting somebody to have a mental break of some kind instead. But let's say how to explain what you buy. Yeah, you do. So when you are either self-employed or a contractor, um, you have to explain where your income is coming from and how things that you buy to use for that income, like what they're getting used for. That's how. Oh shit! Fucking hell! Spooked me. That's basically how like jobs work in general. Like if you're employed under some company, like let's say a McDonald's, right? And you're just a regular employee, you turn up, you do your job, you leave. You don't have to do that. Okay. McDonald's will give you a pay slip. They'll report the income that you receive to your local government, and basically, it's your responsibility to go lodge your tax once a year to say, yes, I got paid. This is what I earned, and this is the tax that I have to pay on top of all the income that already got taxed this year. So that like maybe you get some money back. Like that's kind of how that works. If you're a contractor, you have to there she goes. I thought so. Where are you? Oh, you're around everybody. I didn't just pick up somebody. No. Okay. It's all right. Let me just beat up Ellie for a second. Yeah, if you're a contractor, basically the way that works is you kind of like keep track of your income as it comes in. And you kind of keep track of any expenses that you needed to purchase to be able to do your job. Like if you needed stationery to be able to keep a logbook of how many kilometers you used your car for instance, like that kind of stuff. And you can claim that at the end of the year at tax and say, hey, I bought this much stationery this year. Can I please get like some of that back so that I can afford more stationery next year or whatever? Or go buy a fucking TV, whatever fucking floats